Hello, PMC fans. Welcome to another interview. I am Noah JTRA, also known as the Rockin Aerodactyl, and I'm here joined by Dallas Staryu.
Hi, how you doing? I am Coach Espelancer of the Dallas Staryu, coming to you live from Kamakura, Japan.
Japan, wow.
Yeah, moved here just a few months ago.
Awesome. Do you like it?
Oh, it's a beautiful country. I love it here.
Nice. Well, first off, welcome to the league, PMC Season 2. Welcome back.
Yep, thank
And
you.
first off, let's begin from, I'd like to begin every interview with, the beginning. How did you find the PMC?
Well, actually, my first league experience was a league called the Orange League, and I found someone on Twitter named JSpecs who was looking for a league to join, and I reached out to him when one of our coaches dropped and we needed to fill the void, and that's how I met JSpecs, and I also know some of the other coaches from the Orange League, so I've been around since the beginning, really.
Alrighty. Now, and what are your thoughts on the PMC League?
I think it's got a lot of promise. I'm excited to be a coach. I'm actually excited that I'm able to find the time to battle again and do the league format like I used to.
Alrighty, that's awesome. So what you just talked about the league format. What are your thoughts on the league format?
I think it's the only way to play Pokemon, to be honest. It's the best way. Uh, the the competitiveness of league format, when you're able to prepare for your opponent's team because you know what their roster is, it brings out some Pokemon, some moves, some tactics that you don't typically see when you're laddering on Showdown, for example.
Alrighty. So you talked about how it's like the only way to play, and I agree it's very competitive. Do you like the concept of like two teams preparing, for each other specifically? That way it's not random like you mentioned on a battle spot.
Yeah, absolutely. It lets you fine tune your team, your options a little better, and it also you can bring out a little bit of a surprise factor.
You mentioned that you were part of the Orange League, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Do you care to elaborate a little more on that?
Well, the Orange League, it was a league set up by the Ryan Plummer on Reddit in the day. It was just a showdown league. No one was really required to upload, but it was my first league experience. Being a fan of the GBA for a while, I wanted to get into it, and that's how I got my start. Then after that, I did the World Pokemon Federation until I had to move. And now I'm doing Universal Analyst League with some of the analysts in the GBA as well as the PMC.
Alrighty. So you talked about you're part of the Orange League, and you mentioned a few others, and now you're in the PMC. So you definitely have a lot of experience and some battles under your belt. What do you think is your greatest strength when it comes to battling?
I'm very good at team building. I'm very good at finding those surprising sets that can catch people off guard. There's a reason why I was the runner-up in the Orange League.
Oh, you're the runner-up. Congrats.
Yeah, choked away that finals though.
I do apologize. So you talked about greatest strength, which is team building. By sets, are you talking about like EVs or like the EV spreads or the move pool or just all that combined?
I like to look at Pokemon that are very versatile, that I can play them a number of different ways. And I'll bring defensive Pokemon and use them offensively. I'll bring offensive Pokemon and use them defensively. I'll find those tricky moves that you don't see very often, moves like Safeguard, things like switcherooing Lagging Tails, things that you don't see a whole lot. And I'll find ways to make those effective and bring them and catch my opponent off guard, hopefully.
Alrighty, I actually ran into a switcheroo lagging tail strategy in a VGC match not a few days ago. Completely caught me off guard. So
Yeah, Klefki's good at that too.
yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing you use some awesome, weird moves like that in the future. I've never seen anything like that until just 2 days ago. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So you talked about your greatest strength, which is coming up with cool sets and unique sets. What do you think is your greatest weakness, though, when it comes to battling in this format?
My greatest weakness probably is assuming a little too much, like expecting a switch and the switch not happening and putting myself in a really bad position. That's typically how I've lost matches, or even trying to using a Pokemon, but not having the stab move that could do the damage I needed to. That's how I lost 2 matches against the Hoopa Hotspurs in the Orange League when I had Cresselia that didn't have the Psychic Stab and Zapdos that didn't have the Electric Stab.
Oh, oh wow. Alrighty. So you talked about earlier how you like to build cool, big, use fun sets, and at least I think they sound fun. Unique sets and, surprising moves and all that. So draft is coming up. Do you have any plans going into the draft, like any Pokemon you have to have or any strategies you want to utilize?
Well, I obviously don't want to give away my strategy, but I do plan on drafting a team that I haven't used before. I'm trying to have fun with it, to use Pokemon that I'm not very familiar with, but hopefully I can bring out their potential. Some of the Pokemon I look at are Pokemon that are very versatile, that can fill a number of different roles. I don't like to be pigeonholed with Pokemon that only do one thing.
Alrighty, so I like that. So then your opponent has a lot more, like, okay, are they going to do this or that? So yeah, that's actually a good strategy.
It's the mind games.
Yeah, the mind games, the mentality before the battle before the battle. So you talked a lot about how Uni's Pokemon are more versatile. Let's talk about another Pokemon. What, in your opinion, what do you believe in this league format is the most overrated Pokemon? Overused or overrated?
Oh, I think Mew is overrated, mostly because everyone who drafts it seems to only use it defensively because that's how they build their team. It's a great Pokemon, don't get me wrong. It learns every HM, TM, and Move Tutor move. It can do a lot of different things with base 100 stats all around. But the way it's typically used in League format, it's just not really... I think it's really overrated.
Now, do you feel like there's a Pokemon that is underrated?
Oh, absolutely. My boy Embor. I used him for two different seasons. And that thing is a truck.
Especially with that reckless ability.
Oh, absolutely. But even Embor, you can use it special as well. It has very good special attack. In fact, one of my favorite sweeps was a Venomoth passing an agility into a weakness policy Embor, who then swept with the special attacks.
Nice. That's awesome. I've never heard of a weakness policy Embor, but that's interesting. Again, looking forward to seeing the cool sets you'll be bringing this season. So you've been in a few leagues. You're back in PMC Season 2. Do you have any expectations for yourself this season?
Now, my expectation is to rise to the top of the league. Ladies and gentlemen, PMC and new Staryu is rising.
Alrighty. So you talked a lot about how you like to do cool, fun sets again. I'm going back to that because that seems to be a main focal point in your battling style. Do you have any inspiration when it comes to your team building or battling? Anyone you look up to, or?
Well, I've been a fan of the GBA. There's very good team builders in the GBA, obviously. You have people like Miguel of the Real Maril, fantastic team builder. And then you have people like Gym Leader Gio, the San Francisco Giants, who bring these really cool yet effective sets. And I'm not mimicking them by any means. I come up with a lot of my own stuff. But I do get a lot of inspiration from watching other coaches, very good team builders, prepare for their matches.
Yeah, there's a lot of other leagues out there, and GBA being the most well-known, there's definitely a lot of good team builders and battlers and just a lot of cool strategies and inspiration you can definitely find. So thank you for your time. I just have one final question for you, which I believe you already answered. Who will be our PMC Season 2 champion?
Oh, the Dallas Staryu is going to be.
Alrighty. So, again, thank you for your time, and ladies and gentlemen, the champions of this season, the Dallas Staryus. Thank you for their coach for joining us. And
thank you.
I wish you luck in your league, and I'm looking forward to seeing the cool sets you'll be bringing.
Yeah, thank you very much. I can't wait for it. A new Staryu is rising.
Oh, yes. So for those viewers at home, thank you for joining us for another interview. Again, I am Noah JTRA, joined by the coach of the Dallas Staryu. Enjoy living in Japan. Hope that's working out well. And any final words?
I can't wait for the season to start. I'm going to hit the ground running.
Yes, the Season 2 is hype. Again, guys, thanks for joining us. Hope to see y'all in the next video. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.